Okay, so let me just make sure I got attendance correct. Ready? Heard from Rabbi.
No, we're good. We're gonna go on. We'll follow. We have quorum.
All right. So I have 8 in person. Actually, is it 8 in person? I think I have 8 here. I want to make sure my spreadsheet's correct. If you don't.
Yeah.
So I got Cynthia, Veronica, or no, Hazel and Harry are excused. Stan's online. Economic development is Veronica at this point, unless Juan's coming.
Rabbi King.
Rabbi.
I don't know if one.
I had no hope, Rabbi. No hope. It's nothing.
I had hope. I think I even took your name and put it on.
Kind of like you make a
All
part.
right, whatever. So, all right, I'll just close the attendance.
You got it, Jeremy? We're good?
Yeah, it's good.
See, I knew you were coming.
I don't need that.
Well, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Is that-
You ready, Jeremy?
Did you sign
Yeah.
in, Rabbi?
It is.
All right, we're gonna start. Good evening, everyone. Happy hot day. Today's June 23rd, 2025. This is the Leadership Committee meeting. We're gonna do introductions. My name is Rich Reynoso, Vice Chair and Chair of Housing, to the left.
Cynthia Rodriguez, Board Chair.
Jeanette Wilson, Acting Chair, Ethics and Disciplinary Committee.
Alex Ellison, Chairman of the Education, Culture and Youth Services Committee.
Sandra Unger, Chair of the Health and Human Services, Rabbi.
Chairman Transportation.
Treasurer, Veronica Castro, Treasurer and Co-Chair of Economic Development and Public Safety.
And then folks online who are on the board, please introduce yourself.
Wendy Hewlett, Chair of Land Use.
Stacey, I think you're on mute, or maybe your audio is not cool.
Stacy, she's talking, but we don't hear her.
Nothing? We'll get back to you, Stacy.
All right, there it goes.
Yep.
Oh.
Now we hear you, Stacy. Or we heard it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you can introduce her.
Yeah. All right, Stacy Ann De Leon, Chair of Community Development and Budget Priorities. Present. Next we have the conduct statement. Folks, read the conduct statement on your own time. Please don't interrupt the meeting. I will mute you, just FYI. All right. Moving on, review of meeting minutes. We owe minutes, I owe minutes. You're gonna have to buckle down and do these minutes, at least by the summer, at least for September. I don't think we have any minutes for this leadership meeting throughout the whole year. So we need to do that. Do you want to review attendance, Jeremy?
Yeah, let me mute everyone without the ability to unmute, at least for members of the public. So nobody's talking out of turn. Just 1 second. All right, so you're still unmuted. Great. All right, so yeah, so Cynthia, somebody gave Cynthia a wonderful idea. Do you want me to say it, Cynthia, or do you want to say
All
it?
the locks next to the.
Sure.
button,
Oh, I see.
They can't. We have to. Like,
So somebody gave Cynthia a wonderful idea, like, hey, why don't we, instead of just looking at who's been naughty, let's look at who's been nice in terms of attendance. So we do have 2 members who have stellar attendance throughout the entire year. So the idea was to present them with a nice little certificate for good attendance. And so Cynthia thought that it would be good to do that at the next full board meeting. Assuming that these 2 stellar attendees will be there in person. Does anything else? Am I missing anything else with that, Cynthia?
Nope.
So, any questions, concerns? Sound like a good idea, everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So that's really the big thing for attendance.
Okay.
Right now, unless I'm missing something.
Jeremy, just very quickly, housekeeping. Does Rich have co-host ability on the muting, unmuting?
Yes, that's why when I muted everybody, he was unmuted.
Okay.
Or he remained unmuted. Actually, no, Wendy jumped out and then I guess she jumped back in. Let me do that again.
All right.
All right, there we go.
Okay. Moving on, up next, we have the White Plains Road Bid Class E appointment, Malcolm Gray. If you could unmute yourself.
Did you send them the request?
Let me see, that's a good point.
Oh,
I'll do it, hold on.
I got it.
Hello?
Yep,
How are you? You guys hear
We
me?
hear you, Malcolm.
yes, sir.
Awesome, great. Well, just to give a quick synopsis of it,
Well,
the
introduce
community-
yourself first.
my name is Malcolm Gray. I am the director for the White Plains Road Bid. Yeah, so yeah, just to give a quick synopsis. The community board is given a power in the bid bylaws to appoint a Class E member who will work between both the bid and the community board. I have sent an email to the community board about that appointment and as possible suggestion in Jeanette Wilson filling that space, as she currently is in the Pelham Parkway community, and she also serves as the president of the Brady Court co-ops. And for me, with my vision and how I want to move with the bid in the future, I felt like she would be perfect for the type of hyperlocal activity and vision that I have. So that's about it.
Any comments, Jeanette?
I'm a little honored.
You didn't know?
I didn't know.
There you go, surprise. Well, do you want to say any words, Jeanette?
I care so much about my communities. And I really appreciate many things. I appreciate being on this board because it helped me meet some wonderful people that have helped me bring even more to my community, not just to Brady Court, but that whole little pocket of the Bronx. So I'm just really honored that Malcolm would consider me for something like this. And yes, I was surprised.
Awesome. Very good. Thanks, Malcolm. Any other further thoughts? Anything else you need from us?
No, as of right now, no. We're having our annual bid meeting soon. The community board is invited to attend and to give, listen in and to also get feedback on what's going on. So I should be sending an email for that. That's on June 30th. And we're also having our outdoor movie night, our last event for the fiscal year, this Saturday from 5 to 10 p.m. There's a flyer out. I will ask for the community board to disperse that within a listserv to help build out the event for that day. And I do have a somewhat of a special surprise for the community during that leading up to the July 4th weekend. So, but that's about it.
All right, thank you.
I just want to say
Yep.
something quickly with regards to Malcolm.
Yep.
We're all very familiar with Camelia with the Morris Park bid. She's always, at our meetings, she keeps us engaged in everything, and that's really appreciated. And Malcolm has come in and pretty much done the same. He keeps us aware of things that are going on. He invites us to events that have to do with the bid. He's hit the ground running, and he's involved us every step of the way. And I just wanted him to know that that's really appreciated.
I appreciate that. I'm just doing my job, but I look forward to our continued partnership in the future.
Great. Thank you, Malcolm.
You're welcome.
All right, Jeremy, we're moving on to the June 2025 full board agenda.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do I need to zoom in?
If you
it's not
can, for
clear.
folks online, yeah, a little bit more.
First thing I gotta do here is merging of the committees. On the letterhead. I created this letterhead, by the way.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Some people pay lots of money for those things. But it's-
Yes, they do.
Anyway, all right, so June 30th, Monday, so a week from today, 6:45, Center Light at 2401 White Plains Road. Those of you who are driving or you gave me your license plate information,
Did you
Does
do that,
anybody-
please?
I've not received anybody from members of the
Your
public.
license plate?
Sandy, sorry, keep going.
I've not received any, I did send out an email to the public. If they want to use the parking lot, they need to give us, same information. But I've not received that yet. I'll send out another, maybe because I sent it late Friday night. I'll send it again. The WebEx information has been updated. So agenda, pledge of allegiance, moment of silence, conduct statement, public hearing, gallery session. I have to check to see if there's anybody who registered. I doubt it. Anybody who wants to register, I highly encourage you fill out the form online, especially if, it's just better that it's documented that way. Elected officials, chair's report. So this is all old, but if you want Cynthia, you want to talk about the Puerto Rican Day Parade? Do we want to keep the motions? We're limited to 4 questions or comments.
Yes, keep that.
And Juneteenth just happened yesterday, our Juneteenth. Summer youth worksite application that's being worked out.
Yep.
Greater Morris Park. Do you want to change to any of these things?
You
This-
can, the E can go and F can go.
Yep, got rid of F.
And then, I wanted to mention term limits, social media, and meeting structure.
Okay, I'm gonna put the Greater Morris Park under mine. Well, it's not necessarily Greater Morris Park, maybe more like Loretto Playground. I have an update on that.
Yep.
That I got from the Parks Department earlier. What did you say? I'm sorry.
Social media, term limits, meeting structure.
I also want to put the training that Rich and I attended.
Yeah.
And then you left out meeting structure.
Meeting structure. Okay, de-escalation training. Okay, treasurer's report. So we won't get the June statement, Veronica, until the end of the month, so you won't have that in time. I don't know if you have the May statement, so you can do your report.
Yeah, I'll double check. Did you send the May statement yet? If not,
I'd probably not.
all right, if you
um,
can send it to me, that'll be great, because I'm gonna be doing that. I should be getting the information in the next day or 2 from the other offices.
Okay, we are going to be getting our deposit again for the 3rd time this year from Brady Court.
We have a surprise for you at the end of this meeting.
And then I did send you the information in terms of donations that I received that I still have to deposit. So let's see. This is all, I'll clear up my report later on. Committee reports. So all this is old. Well, bylaws is meeting.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah.
Do
you have anything,
What?
Sandy, for tomorrow?
Yeah, we're gonna
Yes.
we're gonna vote on the change in the bylaws for the gallery session.
I guess you can update that
Yeah.
before the meeting.
Yeah, I'll wait till the meeting happens and then, yeah, I'll update it though.
I know,
Economic development,
just very quickly, I know we've had a lot of discussion about combining, bylaws and ethics.
We never we never discussed it in the bylaws.
that's on the agenda.
Agenda for bylaws.
Yeah, for
Okay,
tomorrow.
okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up old
So that's one.
agenda and I'll copy and paste. Why is this April? This is not right. I wonder if I'm editing May's. Might be editing May's. Let me see. Yeah, I'm editing May, unfortunately. Let me save this 1 second. No, I'm in June. Weird. All right. So I'll get what was on the. I'll just do a placeholder for bylaws. That's sorry, I'm thinking out loud.
It's fine.
In terms of what's on the agenda for tomorrow. And then let's see. Economic development. Did you guys vote? I know you
Yeah,
had.
it
I
was
know-
La Paranda and it passed with one abstention.
Okay. So I'll pull that up right now. Oh, why? That's why I'm in June. All right, sorry. Because I'm in the May folder, not in the June folder. That's what it is. Were any other motions made this month? Probably, we're probably it, right?
For, no,
In general.
I don't know. Oh, no, yeah, for housing,
It's April still.
Starbucks, they came back, right? Remember?
Yeah.
We have to vote,
Okay.
because she needs it by the 30th.
Do you want to do that tonight in committee to start?
Sure.
Just so people are clear on what that is.
Yep.
Find the agenda for that. So that was in the Housing, Land Use, and Sanitation Committee meeting last week. I can find the.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is 1920 East Gun Hill Road. It's a proposed Starbucks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So, do you want to explain it more, or do you want me to?
If you want to, I could give some further points after you intro it.
Okay, so 1920 East Gun Hill Road. It's the old Pelham Bay Diner. They're looking at making that location a Starbucks. It's been vacant for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
It's we get complaints. Even the sanitation department would reach out to me about it, trying to figure out who the owner was, trying to get the property cleaned up. They went before the Board of Standards and Appeals. Forget exactly why they need to go before the BSA. When you can't operate inside normal building codes, you go to the BSA. I don't know if it's. I'll try to figure out exactly why before the meeting.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the drive-through, because she kept mentioning
Yeah.
the drive-through, that
Yeah.
it's like an 18 car. Something.
Okay, I'll verify it. But otherwise, if they didn't have that and if there was no zoning changes, they wouldn't have to come to us.
Correct.
But I'll find out exactly why.
So I think the
So-
motion has to be a motion to allow this development to continue, because it's not being approved, it's just moving on to the next step, correct?
It's up to the BSA to make the final decision
Okay.
whether
Write a
it's
letter of
approved or not,
support. Is it a letter of support?
or a letter of no objection.
Fine.
Usually, it's-
Okay. Okay.
let me stop sharing the screen
Hold on.
so it's easier.
Okay, go. All right, I'm ready. All right, so I'm gonna motion to approve a letter of no objection to the 1920 East Gun Hill Road project that will turn into a Starbucks. Any discussion? Hearing none, moving on. Any abstentions?
Do we do the motions now? Or are we doing the
Oh, you wanna do them
after
later?
the gallery?
Okay, cool, I'll do that. I'll wait. I'm gonna retract my motion.
Unmute, Wendy.
Okay,
No, she should be able to unmute it unless she jumped out.
It's the drop down.
go ahead.
Yeah, Stacy Ann too. You gotta
Yeah.
fix her too.
Okay, request to meet. Go ahead. Yep. You can mute Wendy. I think.
Thank you. So yes, the committee didn't have, the first time that they presented, the committee, we didn't have any issues. And we did tell them to come back once they had any updates. So yes, this is a letter that they're actually requesting. So on the land use end, we don't see any issue with it. So I'm fine with taking a vote to move forward.
Okay, great. Thank you for that, Wendy. That's appreciated. Actually. So we're gonna do that motion during motions, but as everyone heard, their land use has no issues.
Yeah, maybe they'll clean up the area.
Yes, right, the one across the street. The other motion, Jeremy, is for the St. Raymond application. That we had,
Mapping.
the demapping.
Okay.
So I'll write that up for the motions, but just an FYI, that's another one that we need to pass.
Okay.
I don't know about any other committees. So,
So
yes,
we are what if the leadership committee tonight approves, we would like to have a motion to approve the changes to the ethics flow
Okay.
complaint form. But that's dependent on what happens here.
Are you also dropping the disciplinary part of the ethics committee?
We would like to.
Good.
We really seriously believe that that has no place in the community board. That as a group, we can all strive to get better, and we certainly could suggest corrective actions, but it's not our place to discipline anyone.
okay, great. Okay. Any other, Jeremy, do you know, anyone else remember any other motions in other committees? Did you have any? No. Okay.
I'll share the screen.
Rabbi, did you have any?
I have nothing to say.
Okay.
Anything for now.
No,
No, no, I just
we
want-
have our meeting. and
Yeah.
we'll tell Jeremy
This is
what-
for the calendar. Yeah,
I mean, the agenda.
Yeah, the agenda.
for the agenda, sorry.
So when I share my screen, so we're
Yeah, we
We're
can
on.
keep moving.
um. Okay. Oh, you did have the, I don't know if you want this on your agenda, Rich, or on your report
Sure.
about
Yep.
BRC.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let me adding. Okay, so this is, oops. This is the full thing for the BSA. And then, which order do we want? We want the two voting items first, right? BSA and then the land use or the ULURP
Yeah,
application,
yep,
and then BRC.
yep.
Okay. So I'm just going to invert these on the other page. Okay. All right. And so I'll clean this up. I don't wanna
Okay,
waste too
that's
much
fine.
time. And then we got La Paranda here. So motion of no objection, right?
Right.
Okay, I'll clean that up. Oh yeah, so then we have our election. So that should definitely go front loaded. And then we got community development, education. Alex, anything that you want under your report? Anything typed?
Yeah, just update on the Van Cortlandt House Museum visiting and offering to give a tour to the community board members. I know we sent an email about that, but I figured it'd be good just to bring it up to at the meeting and see if anybody's interested, because I think it'd be fun.
Okay, I'll clean up the language on that.
What's the return you've gotten on those surveys or questionnaires you sent out to the schools?
I just sent, I think I CC'd you an email I sent today, just reminding, the deadline is June 30th, so, but I haven't gotten anything yet.
Okay.
All right, so then Jeanette, I guess then we turn to ethics. Anything you want to just, or I know you mentioned it, or was that good enough what you mentioned earlier for now?
Then we are also, tonight, we're going to talk about the dispositions of the cases that we reviewed. So we would add that to the agenda as well.
So you want the full board to vote on this, right?
Correct.
So I'm gonna put that, I'm gonna front load that with the other motions. Okay. Just use that as a placeholder. Oops. All right, so housing, land use is basically being overtaken by leadership.
Yeah, because we
Health,
get over there, yep.
health, anything, Sandy?
Well, I'm just gonna bring up that we had great meeting with Dr. Pena from Bold and Dr. Boudreau from the New Bronx Wellness Center and what they hope to achieve. And so that's it. But we may have a place to hold a meeting or two, hopefully.
So just so I'm clear, Jeanette, sorry to backtrack. You actually voted in committee, right?
Jeanette, did you vote in committee? He's asking you. I guess on the disposition of the cases.
We agreed on our disposition and we're forwarding it to leadership. And from leadership, which is with our new flow chart as well, then it would go to full board.
So you're voting on it tonight, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna take it out here and it will go under leadership.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, so that should be all for committee reports and old business, new business, correct?
Yes.
So anything else, full board agenda?
I think we're good for now.
He left off the calendar.
Well, the calendar's next.
All right, so let me save this, close it. I'll come back to it and clean it up.
Okay, thank you.
And then I'll go to the calendar. So we're gonna review July, August, and September, correct?
Yes.
So we don't meet again until September. Okay, so we're closed on next Friday. We have Ocasio-Cortez's office going to do remote hours at the office on the 9th from 1
Here?
to 4. Yeah, the conference room.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I noticed they were doing it in
Can you
Throgs
hear the
Neck, so what's up?
No, I was talking to Cynthia.
Yeah, I noticed they were doing it in Throgs Neck, so I asked, hey, do you want to
Okay.
do something here? And so yeah, they were interested. So that's it for July. As far as I know, that's it for holidays. I'll review the alternate side calendar. But in the meantime, let's go to August, unless there's anything. So National Night Out is on the 5th, 6 p.m. It's going to be at Loretto, I believe. Well, I don't know if it's going to be at
Yes, I
Loretto.
think so.
Yes, Loretto Park.
Yes.
Loretto Pikeman.
Okay. Let me make sure I spell playground right. And then Feast of Assumption on the 15th. That's it for holidays. Otherwise, it looks like. I'm going to change the date. Today is what, the 23rd?
Yes, sir.
And going to September. So Labor Day, we got to move transportation.
Yeah.
The 8th.
So
Does that work for you, Red Eye?
At the 8th of September?
Yeah.
That sounds like a good day.
Good.
okay, now are we doing? And can I get rid of sanitation? Are we doing a joint meeting with housing?
Yes.
Joint,
All
yeah,
right, so I'm going to delete these reoccurring
that's fine.
events for further notice. So we're going to stay with towards the end of the month of that committee. That's the 16th. I do not know what the 7 o'clock is.
Can you
Okay,
make
so
it
it's
6:15?
What time?
6:15?
Okay,
It's hard for folks to get at 6.
that's good for everybody else, right?
Merge or not.
I'm fine with
Right.
that.
With the
Yeah, I
help
think,
on the
right? Because
second.
it's hard for folks to get here sick,
On the
that's
ninth.
all.
Okay.
And then
So education on the 3rd. Is that okay for you, Alex?
when she get.
Committee?
Yeah,
Could we-
footing.
Could we move it to the 4th, actually?
Okay. And you checked with your committee members, or are you going to?
I'm going to. I've sort of
Right.
talked a little bit, but I'll need to confirm definitely about that.
Okay. Yeah, if you do that sooner rather than later, because once we publish the calendar, it's easier to publish it once and for all versus, even though I end up making edits anyway. All right. So transportation is discussed. Health on the 9th. Sandy?
We are, yes, that's fine, but I'm going to try to get a speaker and then we will have a joint meeting with public safety. Correct?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna run that by Juan, but I don't see a problem with it. But I'll run that by Juan, so we would do the joint meeting on the
Right,
ninth.
I just have to get in contact with someone.
Okay. Do you want to give everybody a heads up on
I'm
as to
thinking
why?
of,
Or?
they can do a presentation about banking scams and scams for the elderly and stuff, and so that would be public safety and it also incorporates human services.
All right. All right, fine. All right, so then parks on the 7th. I know Janice tried calling me maybe 15 minutes ago. I don't have no idea what for. Let's see. So until we'll leave that there. Ethics for the 15th.
For now,
Housing, land. What's that?
I said for now, let's leave that.
Housing, land use is discussed. Sanitation, economic development, and public safety was maybe going to merge as discussed. We want to get rid of executive board, or we want to keep executive board?
For you, Cynthia.
I've always thought that the two should be
I'm fine with that.
one.
Yeah, that's fine with me, yeah.
And so I'm going to get rid of it. All right, so then leadership at 7 on the 18th, then community development on the 24th, and then the full board on the 25th of September.
Looks good. Yeah, thank you.
Great, so I'm going to close this.
Oh, before you close that, the only other thing we need to decide eventually is when we're gonna have this pre-full board meeting orientation idea that we had. Remember, we want to run a meeting before we have the full meeting, how to run a meeting, like a intro. But I guess we could figure that out during the summer.
Yeah.
Because Cynthia usually reaches out to the new folks and we do like
Yeah.
a one-on-one training thing, meet and greet, you know, which I think is good that we've been doing the last couple of years. I guess.
So we'll wait to
Yeah.
see on the if we get new members by that time.
Yeah. So I guess let's figure, we'll pick either late August, early September. I think Cynthia
Yeah.
picked, yep, okay.
So in terms of the full board location on September, unless we really, really love Center Light, maybe we'll go back to Einstein and then maybe look for a different location in October. Is that okay?
I think I would like to start trying to plan other sites over the summer. Those.
Yeah.
And we can discuss, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least I want to reach out to Einstein to at least verify we're going to have a place, or we can see about Center Light too.
Right.
All right. Well, we can go down the road on that then. All right, so I'm going to close the calendar again. Okay.
Okay.
It sounds like the whole
So,
thing.
Yeah.
maybe I'll pull back up the agenda for the motions, right? Or we're
Yeah,
here for-
we're gonna go gallery, then we gonna do motions.
Okay.
So gallery session, anyone here, folks want to say anything?
No, we're gonna be voting on the gallery session tomorrow about signing up, et cetera.
Oh, no, we're talking about
Okay.
that.
Oh,
We have to go
yeah.
down to session now.
You almost got me this end.
Okay, okay.
All right.
You're in gallery now? I'm still talking about everything that we just spoke about. Is it gallery or that's,
What?
you left me a notebook here, so I wrote down a whole bunch of things I wanted.
That's okay.
Tell me, go ahead.
So now, number
The
one,
floor is yours.
this is gonna be ad nauseum. About the ethics thing, I've said about 4 or 5 times, instead of an ethics thing which reprimands people, Why don't you have an ethics things that says what people do great, so on and so forth? If you're making attendance awards, you might as well have, I don't want to, maybe don't call it an ethics committee, call it something else. But there's plenty of people on this board that do things for the board inside, outside, and all around. And I think they should be recognized. And I think that would be a good change going from, from criticizing then to applauding. That's one. Number two, I think for the next board meeting, I think you should invite all the winners of the primaries and to wish them luck and so on and so forth.
For what? For all of the,
Whatever spots are open in this district.
in the district.
Yeah.
Primaries district.
And the borough president, whoever wins. Number three, you're moving the board meeting, which is very nice. You're coming to the north side of town, more elegant side of the town. Well, how come that doesn't make the newspaper somewhere? In the Bronx News, Bronx Times, Bronx, whatever it is. I think, how do people notice? It's not on the buses, it's not nowhere. I mean, you've been on the south side for years. You've not been on the north side. I think the last time you were on the north side, I don't want to remember that. Long, long time ago. So I think you should put a little thing in the newspaper telling people we're proud to say we're going to
Yeah, there's a community session
somewhere,
section there, I think. in the-
somewhere, someplace.
Okay.
Okay, and last but not least, I didn't fill up the page, mister. Okay, but give me another hour. Okay, our police DI is retiring.
Yeah.
I think we should all, I don't know if it's in the budget, Mrs. Budget over there, but can we give him something?
Like a plaque.
I don't know, whatever you want to give him a chocolate bar, give him a custard, give him an ice cream, I don't know. But he's been amazing, and I think everybody agrees that he's been amazing, and we're losing him, which I think is gonna be not gonna be
Really,
great.
sorry, what's it called? NCO, right? Is retiring?
No,
Well,
No?
the
Deputy
DI,
Inspector.
Deputy Inspector. Was it Peaton?
Yeah.
Peaton.
He's
To move.
retiring.
No, he's not retiring, he's being moved to
Wow.
43rd.
Okay.
So I think it would be nice if this community board, some sort of recognition, invite him.
We're gonna talk about this stuff, by the way, keep going.
And because he deserved it. He's only been here a year, and we all knew the minute he became a DI, they would move him. At least we had him for a year, and I think we should send him thanks. So this was all positive stuff,
Okay.
and that is the end of my questions and comments.
Thank you, Rabbi. We're gonna open up the floor now to these.
Can I just respond?
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna go one by one. So the first one is ethics. Let's motivate folks by giving them, recognition. Jeanette,
So
thoughts?
I was going to say,
use the restroom.
I love that thought,
Yeah.
because we were talking about rebranding, for want of a better word, the ethics committee. And in our structure, what ethics has been is the community making a complaint against a board member, or even a board member making a complaint against a board member, but there's no balance. It would be lovely to maybe create something like the ethics spotlight and recognize the positive that different board members do.
Well, that you could do within your own meeting
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Within the meeting,
and do it once a year.
so I think I appreciate that suggestion very much.
And we should let it be known that we will be discussing the word disciplinary and possibly removing it.
Can I just add on to that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's something that has to be limited to ethics too. I mean, I feel like we could encourage all the committees and committee chairs to celebrate their members and, recognize people who do great work.
I love that.
That's something we could do across the board.
I love
Alex is right, and I think
Yeah,
all the
that's a good
committee
idea.
chairs should be ineligible for anything. Yeah. Should be the workers,
Yes.
the worker bees.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I'll get you a plaque. for that.
Yeah, because very often in some instances, it's the chair that does a lot more.
Are you talking about yourself, Sandy?
That's right.
It's a joke.
That's what it feels like.
Number two.
But-
Yeah, so number two, primaries. I invite all the winners of the primaries in this district to just come on over next Monday. Any thoughts, objections to that?
Don't force them.
Yeah, right.
No.
Jeremy, are you there?
I put some in the chat.
Okay. Let me see.
Conduct statement prohibits electioneering
But they,
position.
oh,
Oh,
Well,
But
maybe it
for a
would just
position
be
other than an
introduced.
officer.
did you see what Camille wrote?
hold on. Okay, it says we can.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so general election winners. So December meeting.
So I agree with what Camille is saying.
Yeah.
In the November meeting, after the November elections,
Oh,
we could
because
have them
November.
come and
Yeah.
introduce themselves as the new.
Okay.
Yeah,
Election
fine.
people.
That works.
All right, that works. Thank you,
The
Camille.
primary to do general.
Okay.
Thank you for
Come
that,
on.
Kip. Right, bye.
Board
So-
meeting in the news.
Yeah, so is that who can you do that for us, Jeremy? Is that possible? Is that a tough lift?
The what?
I'm sorry,
The
what's the question?
the new location, since we're gonna be in the North Bronx, sort of. Can we publish that anywhere to let folks know?
Like the Bronx Times.
Like the Bronx Times, do they have a community news section or something?
What are we talking? I'm still not following you.
Movement of the meeting.
Jeremy, inviting people, waking up people on the north side of the Pelham Parkway, telling them that we are now coming to the north side. We have a meeting and we humbly invite everybody to come. So I don't think it's a world beater. It's probably somebody in the office just has to send the press release to the Bronx Times. And if they put it in, fine. If they don't put it in, God bless them also.
Maybe that's a
Yeah.
task that we can assign to our summer youth person.
I don't know if there's time to do the paper one, but there might be time to have it online with the Bronx Times reporter. They have their online thing, and I think by the time they put it in the paper, it'll be over and done with.
I mean, we're on our distribution list, so we do have to notify the news media of our meetings. So I gotta check the list, make sure they're still on there. If they're not, but that's,
You're right.
yeah, I think that's no brainer.
Okay, cool. So last but not least, our deputy inspector is retiring. We thought about maybe a plaque to honor. That, do you think we can do that, Jeremy? I guess we took.
Yeah, there's crown trophy.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think.
we can, I mean, it's not gonna cost that much to do it. Do we need to get the full board?
I think so, right? Yeah.
Maybe that's something to discuss at the full board meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do that. It just, I mean, I don't feel like a strong enough connection there, but I mean, like,
Rabbi does.
you know, he's not been to my district service cabinet meetings, you know, stuff like that. Like, it's up to you though. If you,
I guess
you
let's discuss during the full board, right?
He'll be gone by then.
Really?
He's going very.
We have to have a full board vote, I guess, for funds, right?
Okay, so we'll bring him back.
Uh,
He's still allowed to come 23rd. I think he's gone in a few weeks.
but either way.
So how about a
Board is
certificate of
on Monday.
appreciation at a minimum,
Yeah.
at a minimum?
Okay.
Or you could even have him come to the office and make a presentation.
When though?
When he's available.
Okay, bring it up to the full board.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right, full board. All right.
I mean, people will also say then you're making a precedent that every Tom,
Precedent.
Dick and Harry that retires, you're gonna have to give them a board, a plaque. And even when you retire, we'll have to give you a plaque also.
I hope I get it.
I will get you one with somebody's name on it. You don't know the difference.
Thank you, Rabbi. So moving online to the gallery, anyone else want to say something? Malcolm, your hands up.
Yes. I'm sorry about that. Just quick. Can you guys make a motion to appoint Jeanette, please? Just because I rather
Make it
not.
clean? Yeah.
Yeah, make it, yeah. I don't want any attention or coverage, anything being wrong. That makes sense.
Okay, yeah, we'll motion. Okay, I'll motion.
Appreciate that.
Today you're accepting
So-
him.
We'll wait to the motion.
Well, yeah, we got to do the
You do
motions
it.
after.
Motion is Cynthia. Okay. Kay, your hands up. I'm mute. Sorry.
Hold on, Kay.
Hold on. All right, you can go now.
She's still not unmuted.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, Jay. Okay.
Hi, good night, everyone. I want to thank you guys and the entire board. Some of them, I don't really know some of the board members, but I want to thank everyone for all that they've done. It's been a long, hard meeting season, and I wanted to thank everyone in case I don't see or hear from anyone during the summer. I wanted to say to Malcolm, if he's still there, he's doing a great job. And Jeanette, I wanted to say congratulations. I think you would be a very good asset that comes from maybe a different angle from the way things have been done over the decades on your side of the parkway and stuff. So I think you might bring a fresh perspective to things. Welcome. I wanted to say, because I had tried to mention someone's name at another meeting that I thought she brought up some really good points, and now I know who it is. It's Wendy. So I wanted to thank her for bringing up some really good points at another meeting. The next thing is for Malcolm. He mentioned something about a movie night. Does anyone know where that's going to be?
The movie night is gonna be at Commerce Mall,
Oh,
at
okay.
Bronx Park East, because I feel like that space is very underutilized, and I want to make it central. Anything that I do with the bid now. So it's gonna be in Commerce Mall, and the movie will start from at around 8:30, end around 10. And yeah, that's about it. And we're showing Minecraft also
So what night was this again, please?
this Saturday. This Saturday,
This Saturday, which would be the 28th
correct,
at
at Commerce Mall,
Commerce Mall. And the time, please?
8 to
5
10.
to 10, or 8 to 10.
8 to 10. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And as far as like ethics and disciplinary, it sends a very sad message. Like I didn't have any complaints, but the people that did file complaints, some of them, I do know them personally. And it kind of sends a sad message that there wouldn't be, that people that serve on a board are not held accountable for something that they may or, they may have done. There should be some sort of action taken. But I mean, I couldn't tell you guys what, because I've never served on the board, but maybe some sort of mediation committee set up or something, so that people could work their issues through as like a group. The complainants and the respondents could work through. If there's not going to be any sort of disciplinary action taken, at least it might give the complainant some feeling of solace or that they've been heard. And just that's just my as a friend of the community board, that's just my perspective. I know how I would feel if I filed a complaint and it wasn't, it dragged on for months and months and months and there was no resolution to it. So like possibly like some sort of mediation committee so that at least people feel like they're heard. You can't punish a board member necessarily. I mean, I know that doesn't make sense, because then nobody would want to serve on a board, because God forbid anything they do or say, you know what I mean? But just to give the public some feeling of, if a board member does step out of line, that there's some sort of.
Yeah, I know, I forgot.
Okay, 2 minutes.
Yeah, all right, thank
I'm
you,
sorry,
Kay.
I didn't realize. Anyway, have a great summer, guys.
It's all right, no, we appreciate that, Kay, no.
That's
No, you're great, Kay. Yeah, thank you, appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Next is Camilla.
Camelia.
Yeah, you sorry.
Okay, Camelia, you can unmute.
Hi, good evening. Honestly, I just wanted to say like a general thank you and a general congratulations for where the board is at the end of this year compared to last year, and for each and every single one of you for taking the time to be there really and to conduct proceedings that are proper, and for the community to feel represented in the work of the board. And big thanks, of course, to all people in leadership positions, Cynthia in particular, for shepherding the board during a challenging transition year. And Cynthia, keep moving forward. Other than that, just wanted to announce that I said this in the Parks Committee, but just wanted all of you to be aware. So Morris Park bid installation at Loreto Park, the permit expired, but we did secure another design and a new permit for one more year for a new installation. So there will be teams working starting next week, starting actually tomorrow there. And so if you see any sort of work, it is me, and feel free to reach reach out. And also a nice thing, for the first time we secured an event, a puppet show that will take place at Loreto Park at the end of the summer, September 3rd. It's the day before the school year starts, and I will have a flyer and everything here. I would really appreciate if the community board and Jeremy would help me reach out to schools and to everybody with little children so that they enjoy this first event of this nature at Loreto Park. We actually had it approved the year of COVID, and then everything got canceled. So I'm so happy that we are able to
8 seconds.
Thank you so much. One more
All right.
time,
Thank
thank
you.
you, especially to Cynthia and to Jeremy. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you so
wait.
much, Camelia.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
What?
Camelia, that's cool. We also secured it too for Bronx Park East, the puppet show for September 6th.
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, teamwork. Love it. All right, moving on to Diana Finch. Let me know when you're ready. Let me unmute you. 1 second. Go ahead.
I didn't think.
Did I think it went through?
No.
Yeah. Go
Thanks.
ahead, Diana.
Yep.
Hi, everyone. So just to endorse what Jeanette and the rabbi said, and also Kay and Christine in the chat about putting a positive spin on ethics. One thing to think about maybe going forward is not just having a code of conduct, but also a community agreement where you state at the beginning of the meeting, you know, that the point of the meeting is for everyone to come to a consensus on the matters in front of you and to talk about how you'll conduct business with each other and, you know, let everyone have a chance to speak. Don't dominate the conversation. Like a lot of people do these kinds of community agreements before meetings. And I agree with Kay that it would be great to have some sort of resolution for complaints, which could even be sensitivity training, you know, exercises and training and solving conflicts, working together. It's a standing regret that the sensitivity training that the board voted on so long ago never actually happened. But it could still happen. And have a great summer, everyone. Stay cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rich, would you like to address that at all, being that we just did some training?
Well, we did. Well, I mean, I'll speak for me and Jeremy. So, you know, I went in Cynthia's place, me and Jeremy too. It was a conflict resolution exercise down in the what was that? The
Was it a Borough Hall?
Borough Hall with all the other district chairs and district managers for the Bronx. It was actually really well attended. It was a great meeting. It was 2 hours. We kind of learned how to do conflict resolution. You know, we had pitched it. We said, listen, it would be great if you could come to the boards and do this for the members. They said it's a budget issue. They could only do the chairs and the district managers, but I think we're pushing them to do it for all members. Obviously, it's a pretty penny because there was a person there, you know, teaching all of us, and it was really well attended. It was a great event. I had a great time, actually. Jeremy, do you have any thoughts you want to add?
I mean, it was very unanimously decided by everybody there that, you know, in some ways this training wasn't really needed for chairs and district managers, but it would be better suited for the general population. So they, you know, they know that we want this, to say the least.
Yeah.
I can say much more. I was drafting an email to send to the board about it. I just got sidetracked.
Yeah, and if you could, that'd be great, because I think it's important to let the board members know that every other chair and district manager is dealing with the same issues across, if not the borough, the entire city. Which for me, that being my first time meeting a lot of these folks, was a little, I guess, surprising. Which I was, because naive of me, right, to think it was surprising, but it was really eye-opening to see that we were all dealing with the same kind of conversations, the same issues, which was kind of like, it brought us together, but also we want to fix it. So that need and want is there. So I think that's what we're trying to figure out for the next step.
I
And
do
Kira
love
did
that-
send out.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
Kira
when
did
you
send-
finish.
Kira did send out a follow-up email. That's what I was gonna forward onto the board. I just gotta find it.
Okay.
So I just want to add to what Rich said, because Jeremy and I were in a different meeting online a few weeks ago. And in the course of that conversation, what came up was the need for training, and the need for training, not just for the district managers and the chairs, but for all board members. And the whole issue with us doing the diversity training that was voted on 2 years ago, when that did come up. And it's something that I think, we aren't alone. Like you
Yeah.
said, we are not alone. It's something across the board, and we are pushing.
Good. Yeah, but it was good. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Last but not least, Robert Press, I'll unmute you. You're ready to go.
It said request sent,
Right.
right?
Request to mute. Go ahead, Robert. Maybe you stepped away. Do me a favor. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, wait,
There.
oh, he lowered his hand. Okay, cool. Anyone else?
There we go. Okay, I finally unmuted.
All right.
Ready?
Ready when you are, yes.
Okay, Saturday on Williamsbridge Road, there was an event that ended at 4 p.m. However, at 5:25 p.m., 2 fire trucks rushing to a call had to go around the block, wasting time on the crowded streets that were filled with traffic. There was no 15-foot emergency lane as required, and the street was finally opened at 5:55 p.m. I suggest that a main street like Williamsbridge Road not be given a street activity permit in the future, and that the person be asked to use a side street next to it. Number two, after helping Ms. DeLeon bring in materials from a cab for the Juneteenth event and helping to set up chairs, the president of the Brady Co-op, Ms. Jeanette Wilson, asked me to step outside where she said, how dare I show my face at this in her building, adding that I almost ruined the
We're gonna have
Juneteenth
to
event.
stop you
We
there.
have to pause you
We're
there,
gonna have to stop you
Mr.
there.
Press. We have to pause you there.
I'm sorry, that's not board business.
Yeah.
That was an event that happened, it was a community board event. That was a personal conversation between you and Ms. Wilson outside. I'm not touching it.
Okay. All right, anyone else?
There you go.
Yeah, okay, we're moving on. Okay, moving on. We're moving to motions. All right, we'll try to make this quick and clean as best I can. Jeremy, if you could put the motions up quickly from the agenda. And I'm gonna do the easy ones first. All right, and so the first one I want Cynthia for Jeanette. Whenever you're
Yes.
ready.
Yes, so, I motion that Community Board 11, nominate Jeanette Wilson as a Class E appointment for the White Plains Road bid.
Second.
Any discussion?
I don't know what class E appointment. Was that-
Okay, that's a good question. What is that? Yeah.
Malcolm, are you there?
Malcolm?
I am here. I apologize. I'm trying
No,
to
what does Class E mean in the bid?
Damn,
Yeah.
we can do a whole lesson. All right. So the
30
bid has different classes. There's Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D, Class E, and that's it. So Class A are property members. Class B are tenants, which is the merchants. Class C are community residents who live within the bid district. Class D are elected officials, and as stated, Class E is the community board representative. Class E members are generally advisory members to the bid, so you advise the other directors. They don't have voting power or council quorum, but they help set the agenda and consult on things when needed, if that makes sense.
It's the lowest class.
And Jeanette,
That's what it sounds like.
Camelia noted how they're not allowed to vote.
We make her a better class.
She can't because
Why not?
hormone is
Okay.
business.
So I think any other discussion for this motion?
No.
No?
At least you know what you're voting for.
Yeah.
You know what class E meant. To make sure you got $500. We don't want to get money.
Any objections? All right, hearing none, the motion, any abstentions?
I'm not a part of the voting process.
Yeah, so Jeanette's abstaining, Jeremy,
Okay, so,
Accusing.
or recusing herself.
so here's how I worded it. Motion of no objection for her appointment. So that-
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
All right, hearing none, the motion passes. Okay. All right, the next one up, let's do motion to approve a letter of no objection to the 1920 East Gun Hill Road project, which is going to be a Starbucks.
I second that
What,
motion.
give me, hold on, let me do the discussion first. Any discussion? All right, any abstentions? Okay,
Wait, so Sandy seconded it, right?
Right.
yeah,
I did.
but did you want to say something?
No. I
Oh,
didn't
okay,
want
I'm
to
sorry.
Second.
Apologies. Good, next. Hold on, I got it. Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, so that one passes. All right, okay, I have two more. Let's do the St. Raymond's demapping. All right, good, thank you. So I'm going to motion of no objection for the St. Raymond Avenue demapping application.
What does that entail?
So any seconds first before we discuss?
Second.
Thank you. All right, can we open up the application, Jeremy? If you click the blue link?
Yeah.
We just quickly discuss. It's a little complicated, but it's just they're gonna demap a certain area of the St. Raymond. It's next to the Blondell shelter, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a small side street. It's
Yeah,
basically a dead end street. So when you go up Londell Avenue to the right side, the MTA yard streets, that's what we're talking about here.
yeah, okay, great, thank you.
It's taking a while to load.
No, I know, because it's like a.
Probably because my video.
It's a thing.
Let me stop sharing. Let me mute myself. Let me see if.
So just to build on what Rich just said. Demapping in New York City refers to the process of officially removing a street from the
Yes,
city.
hi.
What?
Yes, speaking.
What?
Who's speaking?
No, she's on.
No worries. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Okay.
Basically, officially removing a street from the city map.
So they're looking to remove that.
That little
strip
piece of,
St.
it's like
Yes.
small.
Yeah.
Okay, they need to, yeah, they.
So
need
it
to-
says, this means the street is no longer recognized as a public right of way and can be developed upon or otherwise incorporated into adjacent properties, which is what I think they were talking about.
And I think you would give the person who owns the surrounding property an
Yes.
opportunity to
Right,
purchase it.
that's why
Yeah.
they want to build on it, but they can't
Right.
because of it.
So what's around it right now?
It's like, it looks like, it looked like it was MTA.
Yeah.
Like tracks.
I'm trying to open too.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're better off if you go to the
I'm
You
trying.
the housing
Yeah,
agenda.
I'm on it. Yeah, I'm sure I'm doing it right now. It's not even opening.
I'm going to Google Maps in the meantime.
Somebody buys it and builds a high rise there and brings in a whole bunch of traffic. Is that- I don't know how cool that is.
No, well then,
I think there, in that particular lot, you really can't. It's all like MTA from what I saw.
yeah, I'm trying to open it. so you can see.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead, Wendy, for sure.
So Rabbi, it's a small lot. It's like a passway. You know, you can
Like
if
an
you're on
egress.
that avenue, you can make a right and then a left to avoid a stoplight. So it's stuck between MTA. I originally thought that property belonged to MTA because it's where the track is and it's where they house their trucks or whatever they're using. So you can't build on it. It doesn't look like it's buildable.
Well, the
But yeah.
question is, will that affect MTA? I don't want to start up with them. They're my friends lately. Seriously, I mean, does that affect the MTA? that they're-
No.
It
Okay,
shouldn't.
Rabbi.
No.
So
Let's
this
do
is
that.
Can you see the map?
Yeah.
All right, so this is Blondell Avenue, where the arrow is. Over here is Williamsbridge Road. So St. Raymond Avenue is the connecting street, and then this dead end street This is what we're talking about. This is Main
Yes,
Street.
this is what they want to demap.
So you can't even get to the MTA property from here because it's all, I mean, you have to go back onto private property. I mean, this is officially a street, but
So what's in there now?
Jeremy, can you show a better map than that?
Like
the
Yeah.
making a
actual-
Google
well, hold on.
Street
Let me see if I
view.
can
Yeah,
zoom in.
Google
I
Street
think
Map.
through that, yeah, you had it. This the
Well, let's start seeing, do you see that big gray right
yeah,
here?
right here. Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let me go down to the street level now. Let me try
Yeah,
here.
that's
Hold on.
better.
The little
Gonna
person in
move
the
this.
middle.
Yeah, I know that the problem. I got things in the way. Hold on.
So who can answer what's in that dead end street now? What's in there? Cars, beer bottles, what's in there?
Groups.
It looks like it's already blocked off.
Here we go. So where are we talking about?
Right here.
So that's it.
Where?
Can you show the other side? Can you show the other side?
Where the gate is?
I can try, but
You see where the
That
truck
way.
is inside that
You mean-
yellow truck?
you mean to the left or right, or you're
That's
talking
the
about the MTA yard?
I
Are
can't,
you on Water Street?
This is so.
I
This
see
is
the yellow
blind.
truck, it's behind the
Right.
gate.
So see, this is St. Raymond's right here.
Okay,
You're talking about going up.
That's the
So
third.
this is going up towards Williamsbridge Road.
got you. Okay.
So it's already cordoned off.
So the
Sorry.
thing is, they just want it, right? They just want it for the records, right?
Well, they want it. They legally, it's a public street.
That's what I'm
They-
saying. Yeah, and they
Technically,
just-
this shouldn't even block off.
That's funny.
But you know, it's a dead end street that nobody. I mean, it's an industrial area. That's the problem.
You're saying this bagel truck will not be able to go in there anymore? Where are these bagel trucks going?
Well, it looks
No,
like they're already using it.
It basically
No, but
means
if they
that
wanna
if it
build-
doesn't
if they
become a
wanna
street
build-
anymore, then they're okay blocking it off. Right now, they're blocking off a public
Illegally.
street that they
Right.
shouldn't be.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So if it doesn't be, if it's not a street anymore, it's not on the map, then what they're doing now becomes okay.
So what
Or
are
if
they
they wanna
charging
change-
people to put their trucks there?
Well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's vote today and then clarify because this has to go to full board anyway.
Where all these trucks are going?
So let's do that. Let's vote today. Ask the attorneys to clarify in layman's terms what exactly is there now and what will be there after. Because we're gonna have to vote again anyway.
You're saying to me now it's gonna be the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna be a city street, so it's.
Yeah, I know, but people are gonna ask
Is it
us.
gonna be
People are gonna
for a
ask us at the full
Is it
board.
gonna be a parking lot?
Either way, people are gonna ask us at the full board.
It's a parking lot now. It's gonna be-
That's fine. All right, we'll get more information.
We'll get more because if people are gonna ask, so we're gonna have to explain this.
I'm gonna stop sharing now, though. Is that good?
Yep, I think so. All right, so the motion.
Yeah.
Let me go back.
Yeah, but then maybe they can charge for
Motion,
parking.
no objection.
You don't know.
I worded it.
Yeah.
We gotta figure out why that link's not working.
Yeah. So motion of no objection for the St. Raymond Avenue demapping application. Sandy seconded it. Is any other discussion? Hearing none. Any abstentions?
I'll abstain.
Okay, Rabbi abstains, Jeremy. For the record.
Any against?
Anyone against? Motion carries. All right. So last but not least, I'm gonna hand it over to my colleague here, Jeanette.
Okay, so at the ethics committee meeting, we updated our flow chart, and we also updated the complaint form. And what I am asking is approval to move forward and take it to the full board. I believe, can we show it online?
Do you want it? I kind of want to approve it.
What? It's up to you.
No, the only reason I think, look, the only reason I kind of kindly just want to approve whatever you're gonna recommend is because I know for a fact we're gonna talk about it at the full board.
Okay,
So I feel like
with Mr. Reynoso.
I feel we're gonna take 30 minutes
okay.
of our time
I'm okay
for
with
the
that.
full board. So
So we'll just forward it to, hopefully people read their emails.
Okay.
well, I think,
Everyone?
board to everyone, pay attention. We're gonna talk about this full board and we want, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, but send it under a separate email, not a,
okay.
So
And
the question, so Cynthia or Jeanette, you sent out the modified? I don't remember. I think you did.
The flow chart, yeah.
Yeah, I should publish that, right?
okay,
Did you get the Google form I sent you today?
I know I got something today.
Okay.
It was like a draft Google form of the ethics form with some language changes. Not significant. We just took out like a sentence or two, but
So versus voting on it here, maybe I'll publish it for the full board. And we just vote on it there. I mean, so I just clicked on the link you sent. By the way, it says, "We're sorry, this document is not published."
oh, okay. Let me see.
Okay.
if
Yeah,
I
okay,
can-
we try.
All right.
But you have another one, no? You had another issue? Yeah, go ahead.
And the second is, we reviewed cases 117, 119, and 120. A member of the community asked the status of case 118. 118 was closed because it was a complaint from a board member towards a community member, and those are not this time permissible, so it was closed. In regards to cases 117, 119, and 120, I believe we did come to a resolution, but it's not a resolution in terms of how things were handled in the past. Because when we looked at the behaviors in each cases, I think it came down to not just how that particular individual handled things, but how sometimes the board in general handles things. And I think that there can definitely be more education and more training so that we can all get better. In one of the cases, I think it came also down to the entire board getting an education on how the street permits work so that we can make better informed decisions. So the committee's suggestion was we did hold the board members accountable, but we also, in a larger sense, held all of us responsible because we can all get better. I agree in light of what we discussed today in saying that there will be trainings. We have to figure out a way to make those trainings happen. Otherwise, it's something that is empty. I think also we are keeping records, and to be perfectly honest, if the same board member receives a complaint with frequency and where it's repetitive, then maybe that definitely needs to be looked at, and then that might be above us to make a decision on to how that is handled. So I would like to be able to present this to the full board.
Yeah. Do we need to motion that? I don't think so. Right?
No, I mean, if you guys voted if you voted in committee on the flow chart, just let's make sure I get the flow chart published in time for the full board meeting. So by Friday at the latest, I need to
I'll
publish that
send
on
it to you.
Okay,
Yeah, and whenever you have cases and you want to take them to full board, I think, yeah, besides the flow chart one that comes here, everything else goes automatically to the full board.
Okay. I just want to be.
Oh, great. No, thank you. Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
I wanna chime in. I think, we've had a lot of issues this year, but I think we've navigated through most of them. One thing that has really troubled me has been the amount of outside influence that has kind of permeated into how we interact with each other, and how structure has been, part of it, but I'll get into that later. My point is, I've been conflicted, over all these complaints, because on the one hand, I do believe, and, Jeremy will tell you, it's something I've discussed often. I do believe in working in what's called a just culture, where it's not about being punitive for every single thing. So I get where Jeanette is coming from, and the committee, in terms of, trying to see what the systemic issue is that has led us to these complaints. At the same time, you know, if we do find ourselves in a situation where it's, you know, the same players, the same members encountering complaint after complaint after complaint, then I do think that that's a situation where, you know, I don't want to say just goes out the window, but where we do have to start making decisions about putting someone on notice, letting people know that there exists within our bylaws, the very real possibility that people can be removed for cause. What that looks like, it seems like it's, you know, kind of nebulous, and it's what we make of it. I don't want to live in a world where this is the board that's kicking people off every time they do something. But at the same time, I do feel that it is important to resolve our conflicts. And if someone is a problem, then, you know, then decisions will have to be made. And we as a board may find ourselves in the situation where we will have to make those choices. So that's all I want to say. I'm off my soapbox.
I want to add one thing. So it was said earlier that maybe the community and the board together should do some sort of mediation or group together. One of the things that I think has to be said was there is a lot of focus on board accountability. We're human beings and we are volunteers. And we come here, and to be very honest, in some of these meetings, it's like it's open season and target practice. And the same way this board has accountability, the community has accountability as well. And it would be nice if both the community and the board could get to a better place. I do think this board, and I am very grateful to Cynthia's leadership. I think we made a lot of strides this past year. And I'm very grateful for that. But we all could serve to get better, and there could be better balance. And that's all I wanted to add.
Can I just add something too?
Yeah.
Some people in the gallery session did comment that if the ethics committee is not, you know, hearing these complaints, there's no forum to hold committee members accountable. I just want to say that I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think that, and this is something that, you know, I've been thinking the last year as we've been dealing with some of these complaints, that to me, the appropriate forum for those complaints is with the VP's office, and they can deal with it however they see fit. But for me, you know, I'm not criticizing the way the committee did things or anybody on the committee. But I just felt like it did distract from, you know, doing more constructive things in the community and really what our mission is by having to focus on these complaints. And also I think it kind of detracts a little bit from our mission because, you know, community board members disciplining each other can sort of create some division in a board that really should be collaborating to work for the benefit of the community. So I was really happy to hear that you guys are considering this move. And I just want to say, you know, for people who are concerned about community board members who they feel may have wronged them in some way, you know, I think that the borough president, you know, who makes the appointments can take those complaints into consideration, has the authority to discipline members, but I think they should handle it and we should focus on, you know, doing our work in the community. So that's just what I wanted to make that comment.
All right. Any other comments? Janelle, you good? Or you-
I'm good.
Okay, very good. That's it for motions. Jeremy, go ahead.
I'm just letting you know, so I emailed both applicants, the BSA applicant and the
No more votes.
land use.
Night. Good
Hear me?
night.
Sorry.
No worries, you're good.
I emailed, hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Email both applicants the questions we have. Why is a BSA permit needed? Is it the drive-through? And then what is the current use of Map Street? And are there future plans that are in the works or et cetera? So
Okay.
as soon as I get an answer, I'll send it to the board.
Good, and we can just read it out loud at the full board. Moving on to old business, I don't think we have any. New business.
Old business would be Jeanette's thing.
Yes, all business would be me.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
Oh, yeah.
for total transparency,
Yes.
Juneteenth was a success. I am aware that I could have done this next week at the full board meeting, but I wanted adequate time so that the check could be received and deposited and recorded correctly. So I am formally giving the $300 deposit, returning it to the community board. It is made out to the Friends of Community Board 11 in the amount of $300. And I am respectfully asking the chair, Madam Chair, to sign that she has received it.
What's today?
Today is
The
the
23rd.
23rd of June, 2025.
So Jeremy, if I can ask, would you be able to deposit that check by the end of the week so that I can add it to the treasurer's report for the close of June? And then I can
Yeah,
add everything else for June once we get the June statement, but I'd like to have that on record for the full board meeting.
Yeah, so just leave it. Just call me after the meeting's over.
Yep.
Okay,
But yeah, I have 2 other checks to deposit anyway. And yeah.
I am
other
once
business.
again going to thank Veronica for correcting the error. And I'm going to say the same way the community board keeps records, Brady Court keeps records. And we have in our ledger and in our bank records when that $300 deposit that was in question was actually cashed. So there's more than ample documentation to show that it was simply a clerical error.
right. And I do apologize for the clerical error, and I do thank you for being able to provide me that information so I could verify it and add it to the ledger correctly. You're welcome. So thank you.
Awesome, beautiful. Thank you guys for that. Jeremy, did you catch all that? All right, moving on. So for new business, did you want to bring this up, Jeremy, or do I? I mean,
What's that?
The sergeant at arms thing we talked about.
Oh, no. It's just, there's a few things that when we plan next year, I mean, I think the biggest thing is we got the deposit back.
Yeah, okay.
I know Cynthia kind of got stuck doing a lot of the cleaning. So if we could do a better job helping her next year, I think that would be very much appreciated. There's a few other, housekeeping items, but I think that's the main. I mean, I don't think we need to get
Okay.
into the weeds right now. Right, Cynthia?
Yep.
Jeanette?
I think there should be a Juneteenth committee.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the committee can have maybe half the committee do setup, half the committee do breakdown. So that way there's actually, and then anybody from the community board can also volunteer to do it. But that way it doesn't fall on just one person or just 2 people. That way we can work
It was-
together to do it.
yeah,
And we
I
can
mean, my-
alternate the committee.
I'll say, spend like,
I was going to say that Cynthia and John Perez, along with my co-op vice president Alexis and myself, we were the cleanup committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, in my opinion, that shouldn't be the case. There should be, and we could change the committee.
I was gonna
every
say,
year.
I think it should be
It's not-
one person from every committee. If you
Yeah.
pick somebody from every committee, and they
That's
have
what
to
they do.
probably rotate every year.
yeah.
I think that would be good because at least we work together. You know, the same people won't do the setup as you're
Yeah.
gonna do
Yeah.
the breakdown, but it'll be at least give everybody a chance. And we don't leave Brady Court a mess.
Yeah.
It could never be if when we're renting the place out.
Great, all right, very good. So last but not least, we're going to motion to adjourn. Any second? All right. Any objection? All right, meeting adjourned at 8:37 PM. Thank you, everyone. See
Thank you, everyone.
you next week.